Hello everyone, it's Tom Toole here, coming to you with episode number 20 of Tom's Take, and we're going to go over what happened in the second quarter in terms of a market update in the suburban Philadelphia area and what that means for buyers and sellers. So let's jump right in. I'm going to run through some stats and then show you exactly what it means. As we can see, the number of sales, they're still increasing. They're up 3.5% to 7.4% from the end of June last year. So a lot more homes are continuing to sell. And pricing is still increasing as well. Pricing's up on average 3.6 to 6.3%. The average days on market is between 55 and 61 days, so right around 2 months. It's not taking that long for properties to sell. The percentage of the asking price received is fluctuating between 94.38 up north of 96% when the homes go under contract. Inventory still remains low. It's down 17%, is at a 4.2 month supply right now. And lastly, the number of homes that have sold above 650,000 are only 7.4% of all the sales in Chester, Delaware, and Montgomery counties. So what does this all mean for buyers and sellers? So let's start with sellers. Right now we're seeing that more homes are selling, prices are up, it's only taking on average 2 months to sell, and you're getting very close to your asking price with little competition. All this tells me that if you want to sell your home in today's market, there are very clearly 2 or 3 strategies to use, and the latter 2 are going to make a lot more sense. The first is building in negotiating room in your price. And what we've seen is that those homes that build in negotiating room, whether it's 4, 5, 6, 10% above what the market number is going to be, those homes aren't selling right now. We're seeing that right here, homes are selling very close to their asking price, within 4 to 6% of what they're asking on average. What we also know is that when homes are priced right, typically there's multiple offers and buyers are competing for your home. So the latter 2 strategies, which are priced right where you think it's going to sell, and then maybe a little bit below where it's going to sell to generate a bidding war, those are the types of strategies that sellers are using to win in today's market. Obviously, this is going to be dependent on your individual property, so certainly if you have questions about that or you want a little more information, comment below, send us a private message, and we can go over your individual needs. Now for buyers, things are still very competitive. What we're seeing is that buyers are needing to be prepared to come in and pay the asking price for a property if it's only been on the market a couple days, knowing that there's going to be competition. I mean, again, inventory's down 17% from last year, so there's 17% less homes on the market through the second quarter. There's not much out there. So if something's priced right and it shows well, the lesson here is don't hesitate. Don't be afraid to make an offer and go in with your best foot forward. In these competitive situations, buyers that try to over-negotiate the home often get left out in the cold when there's 2, 3, 4 offers on the market. So this has been the trend over the past 18, 24 months here, where we're seeing prices are continuing to increase, inventory is decreasing, homes are selling very close to the ask, and it's not taking long for homes to sell. The positive news here for buyers is that rates are still coming in the low 4s. While the Fed has been very aggressive in raising their key interest rates, it hasn't quite hit the mortgage market yet, which means if you're thinking about buying a home, don't delay and wait for that perfect property, because you're going to save a lot more money buying a home now with a lower interest rate. So let's talk about the last thing here that I really want to highlight, which is what homes are selling and what homes are not. So we're seeing that just over 7% of all the homes that sold through the first half of the year were above 650,000. Obviously, that's going to be a little market dependent. You go from the main line, even into Westchester, parts of Delaware County, parts of Montgomery County, wherever you are, there's going to be a little bit of fluctuation there. So you want to look at the very local numbers. You got factors like school districts, proximity to transportation and shopping. There's a lot of things that can affect that. However, what we're seeing is that the homes below 650, those are really the properties that are moving. So it's even more important to get your price right when you're above that number, because sometimes it's only going to take 3, 4, 5 buyers to come through to buy your home when you're in these upper echelon price points in the market. Specifically, right now, it's taking anywhere from 6 to 10 showings to sell your home. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're in one of these higher price points, there's going to be less buyers because of income required asset requirements, debt to income ratio, all those factors involved in pre-approving someone and getting financing. Again, obviously a cash buyer would be great, but financing is what usually happens here. So you need to be in a position, if you want to sell and you're in these higher price points, position your home where you think it's going to sell. We're seeing properties north of $1 million selling within $10,000, $15,000 of the asking price. So it's reinforcing these numbers here that homes are selling very close to the ask. Now, if you're a buyer in these upper price segments, what I know is this. If you find something you like, go in with your best foot forward. Don't deviate from the strategies you would use in a lower price point, because those strategies are going to apply across the market. The idea is to get the home, get a lower rate, and find somewhere you're going to be happy and comfortable. So certainly there might be a little more leeway to negotiate here. However, it really comes down to how much you want the home and what it's going to take for you to get it and make that the place where you and your family are going to live long term. So I threw a ton of information at you here. If you got questions, you want to comment, you'd like me to cover something in the future in episodes that are upcoming here, post something below, send us a private message. We'd love to hear what you think about all this, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching the second quarter market update. I'll talk to you soon.